Am I the asshole for throwing water on a kid who kept doing ding-dong ditch? Due to job opportunities, we recently moved into a new neighborhood. While most things were going fairly smoothly, we'd at around 4 p.m. hear a couple of knocks on our door. When we went to see who it was, to our surprise there wasn't anybody there. It was only until a couple weeks later that we thought there could be the possibility of someone doing ding-dong ditch. We just never thought of it as everyone here seemed really relaxed. So ding-dong ditch never crossed our minds. As to not resort to any extreme measures, we put up a sign near the door saying to, please not trouble the Peyope inside by doing these silly pranks, which didn't work. Since it didn't work, we resorted to asking people about it, but all I got was that it was some sort of tradition for kids in the neighborhood to do this to the new people in the area. This kind of irked me as ding-dong ditch is really annoying, so I set up a camera inside our house to capture who was outside our door. After reviewing the footage multiple times I was able to confirm it was some brat who was a couple meters away. I went to speak to his parents but they laughed it off saying kids will be kids, so I decided that I'd myself do something about it. After 3 days the kid came back, but I was hiding behind an unlocked door with a large water bucket. As soon as he knocked and turned I opened the door and splashed him with water. I thought that was that, but the kid's parents came not even 10 minutes later, demanding as to why I soaked their kid in water. I tried to justify my reasoning but to no avail. I am conflicted, feel like an asshole as I myself used a petty way of getting that kid to stop annoying us. I would love to hear your opinions on this as well. LMAO not the asshole, and it's interesting that now the parents suddenly care about misconduct. They had a chance to address it and didn't. Not the asshole, a prank for a prank and you didn't hurt him or do anything with lasting impact. Parents are the asshole for allowing their brat to be a nuisance. NTA. You were civil. You tried. Kid played stupid game, won a stupid price. They kept doing it after you brought it up. Not the asshole. The kid got what he deserved. You should have soaked the parents when they came to complain. Lol. My parents would have laughed in my face and told me I got what was coming to me. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, they wanted to prank, well there ya have it. Tears of joy, you may be an asshole but this is great. You tried to resolve it peacefully and they chose to brush it off. You threw water on the kid which, in my opinion, is harmless. Technically you also warned them you'd handle it so they have no room to complain. Clearly not the asshole, the kid played pranks and got pranked while doing it. Seems fair. Am I the asshole for calling my brother-in-law out for his weaponized incompetence and calling him pathetic at dinner? I, F24. Have a sister, F32, who has a husband, M38, who is the poster child of weaponized incompetence. They have 4 kids, F10, M8, M5, F3, and she's pregnant. My sister works a full-time job, 40+ hours a week, cleans her entire house, cooks, takes care of all her children without him doing anything. It is seriously mind-blowing that she wakes up at like 4 a.m., cooks breakfast, does chores, gets all of her kids ready for school, takes them all to school and daycare, and all he does is stay home and work. And when his kids get home, after my sister picks them up of course, he will play with them for a little and play video games until he falls asleep. She actually makes more than him. My fiancé, M26, and I had to stay with them for 6 weeks while our home was being renovated, and since we both WFH, we helped her, and it is amazing how much happier she is when she has help. I helped with the kids and my fiancé even drove her to doctor's appointments. Her husband literally only acknowledges he is a parent when his family is around. Then he is a God-fearing, hard-working, father of 5. He is the one that wanted more kids. She wanted to stop after her last baby but he needed more boys. I am seriously concerned not only for her, but her kids as well, because now her oldest is seeing what's happening and trying to help, but my sister is prideful and refuses to let her child do anything. Me and this man have never gotten along. He's been acting like this since their 8-year-old was born. I've tried talking to her about leaving, but she doesn't want her kids to grow up in a broken home. And unfortunately her experience with our parents' divorce was completely different than mine, so she doesn't understand that a divorce would benefit her kids here because she thinks they need their mom and dad together. Cut to this past weekend. Her and her husband threw a pre-Thanksgiving potluck where our entire family plus his was there. I stayed with my sister a few days before because I knew he wouldn't help. So we're at dinner all talking and I mention we are trying for a baby and my brother-in-law makes an offhanded comment to him about how hard fatherhood is. And I snapped and said, like you would know. He looked taken aback and asked me what I meant and I unloaded on him. Calling him a pathetic excuse for a man who makes my 8 months pregnant sister do everything for their family. I went off for a solid 10 minutes and he sat there shrinking in his seat. I left. Last night my sister called me and thanked me for standing up for her and told me she appreciated me. Although today I got a very nasty text from him telling me I'm a terrible person, and because I lied in front of his family his mom is angry at him and is moving in with them to help her out, and I've made him the laughingstock of his family. He certainly thinks so, but am I the asshole for doing this? His mom is angry at him and is moving in with them to help her out. On it all becomes clear. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Text him back with, truth hurts, doesn't it, big man? Not the asshole. Someone is just pissy because he is being forced to put on his big boy's undies. Edited to add, while your timing was not the greatest, he needed to hear it. Besides, isn't Thanksgiving the time of year we all have big blowouts with a crazy family member? Are you an asshole for calling him out in front of everyone? Yes. Did he deserve it? A flat so freaking looty. Final answer. You were the asshole in the best way possible. Keep up the good work. Thumbs up. Medium light skin tone. Not the asshole. Not only did you speak the truth to a guy with learned helplessness, you also seem to have gotten some positive help for your sister. Seriously, if he's that bad, he deserves to be a laughingstock. Maybe that will bring some more positive change, whether it's his finally helping, or your sister leaving him. Not the asshole. You sister and her mill saw it as a true reflection of his behavior, and I hope he is embarrassed enough to pull his weight going forward. Little aside though, your sister may not want the children to help, but she should let them and even encourage them, because otherwise she will raise 5 more of your bill. Not the asshole. Sounds like he didn't like hearing the truth. Especially if his mom is moving in to help out. Sounds like you might have catalyzed some changes at least. Not the asshole. He had it coming. Am I the asshole for insulting my sister, 35F, after she photoshopped my daughter's, 14F, pictures? Throwaway. I, 37F, have a little sister named Valerie, and a wonderful daughter named Lucy. As Lucy has entered her teen years, she has become a lot more self-conscious. She constantly compares herself to friends at school, celebrities, etc. I currently have her attending therapy, and I also try my best to remind her that she's beautiful just the way she is. Valerie took her daughter and Lucy to the mall yesterday. When Lucy got back home, I asked how her day went. She smiled and said that she had a good time. About 3 hours later, I went into Lucy's room to put some of her clothes away. When I opened her door, I saw Lucy laying in her bed crying. I asked her what happened. She pulled out her phone and showed me some pics that Valerie had posted on social media. Valerie had posted pics of herself, her daughter and Lucy hanging out at the mall. Lucy then pointed out that Valerie had obviously photoshopped her. She made her complexion clearer, her teeth whiter, and even slimmed in her waist. Lucy also pointed out that Valerie only photoshopped her in the pics. Lucy dropped her phone on the ground and cried her eyes out. Eventually, Lucy told me that she just wanted to be alone for a while. I left and went outside because I was ready to unleash on Valerie. I called her and demanded to know why she would alter Lucy's image. She got defensive and said, "Last time I checked, I could post whatever I want on my account." I told her about how crushed Lucy was when she saw the pics. Valerie doubled down and told me that she was simply making Lucy look better. I told her that Lucy is fine just the way she is, and I don't appreciate her destroying Lucy's confidence. We kept yelling at each other and things continued to escalate. Valerie yelled that she doesn't want her daughter around Lucy because I'm a drama queen. I yelled back, "Good. I don't want my daughter to be around a dollar store Instagram slut anyway." She told me to go fuck myself, hung up on me and blocked me everywhere. I haven't mentioned this conversation to Lucy because she's stressed out enough already. My husband says that I went too far and that I should have been more mature since I'm the big sister. Am I the asshole? Edit. My insult was directed towards Valerie after she called me a drama queen. The insult was not directed towards my niece. Just wanted to clear that up. Not the asshole. Your sister apparently has no problem giving a child body image issues. Keep being a great mom and reaffirming your daughter's beauty. Not the asshole. But report the pictures for posting images of a minor without consent or whatever option is available to get them taken down. Dollar store Instagram slut lol, good one. Valerie sounds like the immature one, definitely not the asshole. Not the asshole. Valerie basically told a teenager they were not good enough as they are. That is just heartless. Not the asshole. Photoshopping someone without their knowledge or consent is despicable. Your sister sent your daughter a clear message that she's not good enough, not slim enough. Report the image as inappropriate and cut contact with sis. Not the asshole. Your sister has just undone all the good work that therapy is doing for Lucy. Not the asshole. Isn't there something about posting about other people? I can't recall well, but I believe there was something. I am not sure if you can report those pictures to get them taken down. Not the asshole. But you're dealing with an ignorant and asshole sister and aunt. In my opinion, she did something really sick and stupid, but she can't understand what she did is bad. She looks like a teenager who bases her life on social media. Sorry for that. Hope your kid gets under your influence, not her aunt's, which unfortunately is the same as a lot of people. Am I the asshole for clinging to my husband at a party and not letting someone speak to him privately? We were invited to a party on Saturday, but I really didn't want to go. I'm pregnant and I feel tired and emotional all of the time, and the last thing I wanted to do was spend time at this party. Usually, in these types of parties, there's a signal which tells the majority of us to disappear while a select few discuss business. I hate it because when my husband is around everyone is perfectly nice, but the second I'm alone some people can be extremely catty. I told my husband I didn't want to go, but he told me it was important for him to go and he promised not to leave my side the entire time. So, we went and then the signal came and everyone not wanted was getting up to leave, but my husband kept his arm around my waist so I couldn't exactly leave, and it was awkward as hell because it was obvious they wanted to talk privately and my husband was acting like it was no big deal and ignoring the awkwardness. It happened a few times during the night, but he kept his promise and stayed near me the entire time. This one man, Frank, was getting visibly frustrated that I wasn't disappearing, and he kept indirectly trying to tell my husband he wanted to speak to him privately, but my husband was acting like he didn't get the hint. Then at one point I needed to use the restroom, so I excused myself and Frank's wife followed me there and told me off for clinging to my husband and not giving him and Frank some time to talk privately. She asked me if I would just give them 30 minutes because Frank had something important he needed to discuss with my husband. I'm friends with his wife, so I felt bad, but I said no and went straight back to my husband. Frank and his wife were giving me dirty looks for the rest of the evening, and the next morning my sister-in-law told me Frank's wife was complaining about me to people for how I behaved. Am I the asshole? Frank and his wife need to get over themselves. If Frank wants to talk business and it's that important, he can have it over coffee, a phone call, an email, the list goes on. It's no one's business why he didn't leave your side. Not the asshole. Is your husband in the mob? Nah? What a weird thing to have a party where people bring their spouses, but it has a business meeting halfway through. Seems like a poor separation of business and pleasure. Not to mention, is halfway through having drinks the best time to have a business meeting? I don't get it. But if this is what the party is, then I'm not sure why you and your husband tricked yourselves into the idea that this would work. Not the asshole. What kind of weird party allows +1s but makes them leave? Like, if it's private business matters, then why even bring +1s? Also, your husband sounds awesome. He knew you didn't want to be alone, so he made an effort to show that he wanted you by his side. Meaning, he didn't give a crap what the others thought, because it's none of their business. There's no way you're the asshole because you and your husband both want to stay together at a party. Not the asshole. This looks like Scorsese's Goodfellas. And there's a Frank too. Is Frank Frankie Carbone? I wouldn't mess with him. Honestly, if your husband needed to go to the business meeting, party, I don't know why he insisted you go too. You even have great reason to beg off. Pregnancy. Most people don't question pregnancy when you're bowing out of plans. Info. Does your husband carry a violin case but not play the violin? What kind of eyes wide shut party was this?